Hello everyone, I am Deepak and I welcome you to this lecture of full stack web development. In previous lecture we have seen that we have created a table like this. This was the caption academic details, and then here we used a row span, here column span, and extended a row or column over multiple rows or columns, right? In this lecture what we are going to do study is forms, and for that I have created a file form basics. Now let us understand what are the form basics. What I will do, first I will tell you what is form. So form is something that is used to take inputs from the user, right? For example, you can create a form like this. A basic and simple form is this. There is a username, maybe there is an email ID, and there is a gender against which there is a input box, or in this case we can use a radio button, right? And this radio button might say that it's a male, it might say it's a female. And finally we can create a submit button. You need to click this, and that will submit the data to server, of course, right? So how this form is designed, I will tell you this, and will tell you more elements or more attributes that are attached to this. Let's move it above. So first of all, there are some input elements that you can use for creating this kind of forms. So first of all, we are talking about username. So there is a tag called input, and there is one attribute with it which shows the type of input element. So write it like this. Here, in this case, when we are writing type text, so there is an input box which takes some text as an input. You can keep changing this type, and that will result into change of input box. So what else you can do here? You can write type email, and there will be input box similar to this, but that is specifically designed for taking email as input. Similarly, you can use password. There will be a similar input box, but whenever you enter a password, it will show you like this. One more that we are going to use in this case is a radio button. So for that, type radio is written. There are some other attribute in this input box. Input type, whatever type you want to give here, and there is one attribute name. Whatever name you want to assign to a particular element, you can provide it here, and this name is used for sending the data to server, right? So these are the input kind of elements. Similarly, you can use input element for submitting the data. What you need to type here, input, and type equal to submit, and in this way you can create a form. but all we have written here is not inside a tag that is main tag here, and that is called form tag. So form is started like this. There are some attributes inside here that I will write later. Then you need to close the form tag and write all the input elements here. I will write input elements here along with submit button. And there are some attributes that are very important. So one of them is action, and we need to give some name here, which is a script file basically, and you can leave it if you want. And then there is a another one. What is that? That is called method. We will not discuss this method attribute in this lecture because that will make this lecture lengthy, but we will discuss it here. So let's understand the meaning of action. What does action do? Whenever you click submit button, the data is submitted to some server side scripting page. So that page is here inside action. Or like what we have to do, let us suppose I have a page name add.php. This means the data will be submitted to this page. Add.php, right? What else? If I don't write action attribute, what does it mean? It means data will be submitted to current page, right? Then there is one more attribute which I left here. I will introduce it now because we don't need much explanation for that. That's why I'm writing in, and that is called target. And that could have two values that we are going to discuss here. One is underscore blank, underscore blank, or you can also write underscore self. So what does it mean? Whenever you submit a page, a form is submitted, and that could open a new page, or maybe that could send the data in same page in which the form is being made or created. So when it's blank, that means a new tab will open. In this case, same page will be used for that purpose, right? So let us try to code all these things and understand their meanings. What is meaning of get and post? We'll come to this in next lecture. As of now, just try to create a form. Action, I am leaving it. So there are four targets. Right now I am putting blank here so that it opens a new page. Then I will try to create a and name, maybe I will write username here. Similarly, I would like to create another type which is email, and name will be email. Then I am going to type radio. Name will be name. What I can give in name, gender, because I am going to submit a value to gender. But as we have discussed, gender could be of two types. So one is uh, male and another is female. So what I am going to do, I will create id along with it. So id is male. Similarly, I will create another input box that is female, and then finally a button submit, and along with it I will provide an attribute whose name is submit. So I think we have created a form. Now let us try to run this code. I will change here. So you can see there is input box here. There are two buttons. You can see one of them you can click, but we need to provide some messages with it, right? So how you can provide some messages along with them? You can create a label, and we need to provide an attribute for, and for should be id of the next element that you are going to provide here. So let's username, and then we need to break this because we want, or maybe should not break it here because we want username in front of that, but here we need to provide id for this, and that's username. Similarly, for this I want to provide an id, and that's email. Here we have id, here we have id. We don't have any problem with that. So let's come to another one. We have provided a label for that, but after username try to provide a break so that another one starts with next line. Then email, for email. What after that? So here is radio button, and I need to provide a label for both of these. Let's create break here. Now what I need to do, for this is mail, I need to provide a message here that this radio button is for male and another is for female. So I will provide id in such way. Now let's refresh the page, and you can see first is username, second is email, then it's for male, female, and we need to provide a break here so that submit goes to the next line. Now what we are going to do, let's write something here, and email, maybe I would provide an email, and you can see the information I have filled here. Now there is no method, so by default the method is get method, and what it does, it will send this data uh, in a form of query string here in the URL. So let's try to click submit and see the effect. You can see I have clicked a button, and you can see query string is this. What does this tell you? Let's copy it from here and try to paste it at this place to understand the meaning. So you can see username Username is here name of this input element, and this name is what we have provided uh, in this form in input elements. Then there is and, that means next element is next value is going to start. So I will put enter here. Now see email, which is name of another element. Then there is a mail id. These are some special characters, we don't need to look at this as of now. Then there is gender, and the value is on. Why this is on, we have to look at it because we want some another value for this. Maybe I need to change it here, male, and similarly I need to change value here, female, and see if there is any change in this. Again try to remove it and put those values again. Add gmail.com, click on mail and submit it. See if there is any change. I will copy it and paste it here to show you the remove it, because that question mark shows that whatever we are getting here is a query string, so we don't need it for the understanding purpose. Now you can see gender is male because you have clicked you have put a value here and submit, right? So I hope this is clear to you that in this way we need to create a form. We are going to learn more things in coming lectures. Let's do one more thing. Let's create self here to teach you the way it works. Again remove this, try to put some values. Maybe I will do something different here. Maybe I will take another name, maybe abc, email abc@gmail.com, or try to take just abc and try to submit this form. You can see this provides us a message that please include an at in the email address. So this is by default validation provided by JavaScript. So it wants an email from us. That's why we have provided type email here. Now let's try to click on female and submit the data. Now see here is gender is female, right? And one more thing you can see, I think we left a part here while understanding all this. Again try to understand abc, because we have self here, so this form should be opened in same page. abc@gmail.com, then click on female and submit. So same page is opened here, right? Now try to change this. I have refreshed the page and I will change this to blank. Refresh it. d@gmail.com. Now click on mail and I will show you the information that we have filled and the form that is submitted are two different pages. So let's see. This is the form we have submitted, and this is another page where the form has been submitted, and this is due to this one. Okay, so I think this is enough for this lecture. What I will do in next lecture will talk more about this action and target, sorry, method get and post. Okay. So if you have any doubt or any queries, please write it in the comments. I will respond back. Thank you so much.